Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Dori Talks. I'm Dori Sugab, founder of InSPAration Management. I am very excited to be with you today because we are going to discuss a very important topic, a topic that everyone should be interested in, and that is how to host and plan six-figure events. Yes, are you excited? I know I am. As we navigate through vaccines and the loosening up of restrictions from the coronavirus, many medical aesthetic practices and spas are eager to begin hosting live in-person events again. Yes, hallelujah. It's probably been a while since you've hosted live events. And in this episode, I am going to be sharing with you 6 steps to help you plan and host super successful events. As you know, pre-COVID, many InSPAration Management members would host events and generate anywhere between $50,000 to $250,000 per event. Yes, you heard it right. And now it's time to get back to hosting profitable events again. Aren't you ready? I know I am. To have this type of success, it takes strategic planning and the efforts of the entire team to pull it off. So the following 6 steps I'm going to be sharing with you are going to definitely help you. The 6 steps I'm going to be sharing with you are actually from the brand new program that I just finished completing. It's over 3 hours of content to help you plan and host successful events. To be specific, 6 figures events. So what I'm going to do in this episode is I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit of that information, give you almost like a little preview of what these 6 steps are, so you too can begin that path to planning and hosting super successful events. So let's go ahead and get started. You might want to grab a pen and a paper because I'm going to be sharing some awesome information with you. So let's go with step 1. Step 1 is all about the mindset and the type of events that you want to do. There are many benefits to hosting events. For example, if you want to host an event, you should have these goals in mind. 1 is to attract new clients and reactivate and engage existing clients. 2nd is to generate community buzz. Let people start talking about you again. 3rd is to increase exposure and improve your positioning. And of course, my favorite one, of course, is generating revenue. And that's really why you want to host events. So it is very important to have this as part of your marketing mix. If you don't have events as part of your marketing, then you really will be missing out on great opportunities. So here's the thing. There are many different types of events that you can actually host. One of my favorites, though, is when you actually have a fun and themed party in the evening from 5 to about 8, where you actually close your place down and all you're doing is actually engaging with your clients. But there are a lot of different types of events that you can do, and a lot of them can definitely help you be super successful. Now, many of our clients, as I mentioned earlier, generate 6 figures from these type of events. So you can also do the same thing. You can also do day events if you like, where actually a client will reserve certain treatments and they can come in. You can also host lunch and learns, breakfast and Botox, and the list goes on. The important point here I want you to take from this is actually to host them. You gotta host the events for you to gain that type of success. So the first step really requires a lot of planning. It takes efforts. It takes many people to work together actually and to be able to accomplish all the tasks and to get it done properly. But you know what? It takes a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it. So don't skip it. So I want you to check your mindset regarding events, and I want you to think big. I want you to be thinking six-figure events. You can do it. If other clients can do it, so can you. So that's the first step, the mindset. Let's go into the second step. The second step is probably the most important step, and that's pre-event planning. And that's the biggest segment in this new program that I created for you. I go over it step by step on what you need to do to actually plan it successfully. So I don't want you to rush the pre-planning process. It really does take some time. And that's why I want to give you this advice. It is essential to start planning your events at least 45 days before the actual date, because it really takes you about 2 weeks to come up with all the marketing material, and then it's going to take you about 30 days to market the event so you can have a good show rate and achieve those great results that we're talking about. So what does planning begin with? Well, you really need to begin with a purpose first. Your purpose is very important. So why are we hosting this event? How will your guests benefit from attending? What will they gain? What will they learn? What will they enjoy and purchase? What is the offer? What are you going to offer them so you can generate those six figures? So you have to make sure that when you make the offer, and that's part of your pre-planning, by the way, so make sure you do that way ahead of time. Your offer needs to be irresistible, and you must create urgency by making it valid only the night of the event. So you can't just keep the offer wide open and let them come back and get it at any time. So it's very, very important to do that. So you need to start by answering these questions that I just posed for you. You have to start by answering these questions that I just was asking you. So you need to create that offer and make it enticing and irresistible. Then you can decide on a theme. It amazes me how many people host events without a theme. The theme is going to increase your show rate, so you can definitely have a lot of people attend. So make sure you choose a good one. Make sure you have a theme. Then it's time to map out the event structure and flow. As a matter of fact, in this brand new program that I did for you, I actually have it all mapped out for you, so you can actually just follow it. Not only that, I also have a complete to-do list for you in this brand new program. So it's actually literally a step-by-step process for you to plan a successful event. So to me, this is very important to have. Your guests and your team, they need to know exactly what is going to take place in this event. And especially your team. Your team needs to make sure to deliver that great guest experience, and the guest needs to have a great experience. And you also need to decide on some other things that are going on. For example, demonstrations. You need to have models. You need to decide what you're going to feature in these different types of treatment rooms that you have, and make sure that they know what the offer is. So as the guests are going around viewing demonstrations and seeing different stations, they're actually realizing what the offer for the evening or for that event is. So now that you know the theme and the offer, you have the structure and the flow, it's time to create all of the event marketing material. Well, of course, you need an invitation. And you need actually different types of marketing material that I want to talk to you about. One is the marketing material to actually invite people to the event. And then you're going to need marketing material for during the event. And these are some of the tools I just want to share with you here real quick. Some samples. And these are the samples that I actually share during the new program too. So you have an invitation. And I just want to share with you one quick tip about the invitation, because this is very important. And that is to bring a friend and join us. It should be in the very top part of your invitation, because again, remember, the benefits of having an event is to attract new clients, not just keep marketing to the same clients all the time. The other marketing material you need to create to invite people in, you might want to consider doing a direct mail piece. So again, you can attract new people and you're not just marketing to the same people over and over. So that's another thing. And of course, you can do Facebook campaigns, Instagram campaigns. You can do videos to invite people. You can do the landing page so people can go and RSVP. So those are all part of your pre-planning process to create all these marketing material to actually attract people. Then, of course, you have to do all your giveaways. So if you're giving away certain prizes or a grand prize, make sure you include it in all the marketing material so that people are excited. If you're going to do demonstrations, I would tell them what demonstrations you're going to have. There is a lot to do. I know it's a lot of work, but believe me, it is worth it. Is it worth it to plan for 45 days to actually generate 6 figures? Absolutely. So those are all some of the pieces that you can use for planning the marketing to invite people in. Now, in a little bit, I'm going to show you some of the marketing pieces that you need to use during the event. But no matter what, you want to create excitement. That's really what the marketing pieces should be all about. And then the other thing you want to do, because to me, I don't think events should really be costing you a lot of money. You can ask your vendors for donations. You can ask your business partners for donations. You can barter with people instead of having to pay. So there are so many different things that you can do to make the event even more fun by providing everybody with a little swag bag that they can take with them on the way out. That also enhances the guest experience when they come to your events. So needless to say, I know it's a lot of work, but it is definitely worth it. Now, the other thing I want you to keep in mind is when you are in the planning process, make sure that the team, your team, is fully aware of the goals that you're trying to accomplish that evening or that day and what their roles are. Because I have to tell you, one of the most important things about hosting events is having the buy-in of the entire team as well as your vendors. That's why when you're choosing the date for the event, you want to make sure that you choose a date that your entire team can be present and all your vendors can also attend and help you, because you can never have enough people during events. I'm telling you, this is the truth, and you will never have enough people. And that's why it's so important to choose the right date. Now, as far as your team is concerned, you have to host training meetings to help them learn on what the process is, and also to role play the presentations and the approach so you are most productive and they are most productive. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we deliver a great guest experience as well. So the pre-planning is truly huge. And that's why I would love for you to get your hand on the complete program so you can actually follow it step by step. And as I mentioned, that's the biggest segment in this new program that I just created for you. I'm super excited because I know you guys are just going to kick butt. You're going to do so good. All right, let's move on to step number 3. Step number 3 is the event day preparation. So here we are now, it's the event day. What do we do? Well, on the event day, actually, everything should already be ready, right? You should be ready to rock and roll. So all you really need to do on the event day is to simply set up the place. You need to decorate with your theme. You need to set up your treatment rooms. But most importantly, I would want you to start by hosting a team meeting and reassign responsibilities for everyone so they can help you set up properly. You also want to go over the flow, the structure of the event, remind everyone of the goal that you want to achieve. So remember, we want to make 6 figures, so you definitely want to make sure you drive that goal home. Every team member needs to know what they're going to be accountable for and the type of experience we truly want to deliver. You also want to touch base with all your vendors, your food and beverage people. Maybe if you have entertainment with your musician, you want to make sure you have your photographer and videographer so everybody is reminded, they know exactly what we need to do so we can pull off a great event. So the day of the event is really all about preparing and getting ready to put the show on, right? So everything should be ready. For example, your registration table. I talk about all this really in depth, by the way, during the program that I just created for you. So the registration table, you're going to need all your registration forms so people can fill out their information. You're going to need your spa dollars. I'm going to tell you about this strategy here in just a second. You're going to need your passport. So these are all the marketing material that you're going to use during the event. So when someone comes up to the registration table, your registration table should have maybe the grand prize on it, maybe a sample of your swag bag, and then all these internal marketing material that you need to actually be using. So make sure that you have these tools to make sure that you're doing things properly. Now, this passport, what you're going to do with that, and what I advise our clients and members to do, is the passport allows them to go and see all the different demonstrations and they get it initialed. And my advice to you is use the passport to draw for the grand prize, where these little registration forms can be used to give away the smaller prizes during the event. So those are some of the things that you really need to be focused on doing so you have yourself a successful event. Now, the other thing you need to have prepared is your demonstration rooms. You have to have your product placement, all your sales tools, order forms. Your team really needs to know exactly what needs to be all set up for you to rock and roll. So all the stations need to be set up. For example, if you have a membership program, you need to have a membership station. If you have certain gift card promotions like these spa dollars that we usually teach everyone how to use during events, you need to have a station for that. And then you have, of course, maybe a place where you're going to do all the giveaways from. Make sure you have a microphone if your place is big so everybody can hear you when you give away things. Also in this program, I teach you how to actually give away things, because there is an art to that and there is a process for that to get the most out of your giveaways. And those are the things that really you need to focus on. Now, before I move on to step number 4, let me explain to you one of the best things you can do to actually generate a lot of money from your actual events. How do we get to the 6 figures? Well, it's actually easy. It's easier than you think, because the night of the event, if you just focus on selling gift cards and giving away free money that night, you're going to be different than everybody else that hosts events, and you're going to totally grab people's attention and they're going to take you up on these offers. The way our clients reach 6 figures during events is by applying this spa dollar principle. Let me just give you a quick little example. So you can have, by the way, we can create all these marketing material for you also. You can just call our office and my team can help you. So for example, let's say we want to do 6 figures. So to do 6 figures, you have to make large sales, right? It goes without saying. So let's say we're making an offer where someone buys a $5,000 gift card. So for buying that $5,000 gift card, they can get $1,000 for free. So what does that really equate to? You basically gave them 20% off. But instead of me saying I'm giving you 20% off, it's much nicer and more enticing if I buy a $5,000 gift card and you tell me you're going to give me $1,000 for free. And that's how you get to six figures. Anyway, I go over that in depth on how to implement that strategy so you can reach six figures during the new program that I just completed for you. I'm so excited because I know when you take this information and you put it to good use, you're going to love it. You're going to absolutely kick butt and you're going to soar for sure. Okay, let's go into step number 4. Step number 4 is the event. So I like to call it, it's showtime. Let's rock and roll, you guys. So let the fun begin. All your efforts is now ready to pay off. So what we want to do during the event is create engagement. Make it fun. And I go over so many different fun things you can do also in this new program. You want to make it fun from the very beginning, from the minute they walk in to the minute they walk out. Your responsibility as a team leader, I'm talking to you now, the founder, the owner, the director, whoever is in charge of this event. You as a team leader, your most important job is to direct the event, make sure that you're mingling, make sure everybody's having a good time, that they're talking, they're having fun, they're taking advantage of your offer. You want to make sure your team is doing their part, the vendors are there communicating, everyone is excited, everyone is happy to be there, and everybody is buying. The other thing you should be in charge of is the giveaways. And my advice is for you to do a giveaway about every 15 minutes to 20 minutes. And then I would save the grand prize till the end, towards the end of the evening. That way everybody can stay and mingle and purchase until you're ready to give away the big prize. And by the way, don't be cheap. Don't be cheap. The prize should be grand for people to want to come and participate, especially since you tie it to the passport where they have to go and see all the different demonstrations. It's very, very important. So you need to keep your eye on the ball. It's like you are in a championship game and you're the coach and you're on the sideline and you're watching and you're maneuvering and you're changing things as you see fit if you need to, and you're making sure that the momentum of the event is exciting, fun, and happy, right? So when you keep your eye on the ball and you direct the event, you will have a very productive event. But if you're stuck in a room somewhere talking only to one person, or you're trying to do consultations during the event or this or that, that's not this type of event that I'm talking about. This is the type of event that should be fun, exciting. You're just generating a lot of buzz about what you're doing, and you're getting people to take pictures and give you testimonials and sing and dance and buy and have fun. That's really what we want, right? Yes. Okay, let's move on to step number 5. And step number 5 is measuring the results. You know me, I'm always measuring. You've got to measure and see how good you did. And this is really one of the most important things that you can do. You want to measure a couple of things. You want to measure your guest experience. Did my guests have fun, right? And were we productive? How much revenue did we generate? Those are the things that you really need to be assessing. So the best way to measure to me is the revenue per attendee, right? Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to calculate your total revenue, and then you divide it by the number of attendees that came to see you. That's going to give you a revenue per attendee. For example, let's say you generated 100,000. That should be, by the way, your goal. You need to make at least 100,000. That's what I'm talking about here. 6 figures, right? So let's say we did 100,000 and you divided by the 50 guests that you had. So that means you generated $2,000 per guest. Now, would that be a good average for an event? Absolutely, absolutely. And that's really what I want you to be able to do. So it's not about the quantity of people that come. It's actually about the quality of people that come and their ability to purchase all these gift cards with your spa dollars so you can make those 6 figures. So think about it. All you need is 50 people to show up, and each of them to buy a gift card for $2,000. You give them some free money for them purchasing it, right, as a bonus, an enticing offer, and you just made $100,000 out of an event. So it's really easier than you think it is. Now, we do have people that make $250,000 out of an event. So the more people, the higher the revenue per attendee, the more revenue you're going to generate. But if you don't have that goal in mind, and your entire team realizes the opportunities that you can have, then you can achieve it. So I was talking with one of our clients the other day, and they're thinking to me, we were helping them actually with their grand opening, and I was telling them that we've had many clients generate 150, 200,000 out of a grand opening, and they're like, oh, I don't think we can do that. Well, guess what? If you don't think you can do that, guess what? You are right. You're not going to do that. And that's why I started this talk with your mindset. Because whatever you believe, you can conceive and achieve. So if you go into the event thinking, oh, our people are not going to buy that, then you're going to fail. But if you go into the planning process thinking, I can achieve 6 figures, then you're going to be able to achieve it. So what you want to do is have that goal and hit that target. So when you're measuring, you want to know, did I hit the goal? Did I exceed it? Or did I come below it? It's very, very important for you to know that. So this is the time, post-event, this is the time to sit, reflect on the event, host a team meeting, and get feedback, get input, and see what can you do to improve your process the next event that you're going to host. But if you don't sit down and measure, you're not going to know how good you did. And you've got to know where you are and how good you did. You guys are with me? Woohoo! All right, now it's time for the step number 6. And step number 6 is post-event marketing. What can we do after the event to still generate more revenue and let the word out about what we did? And I have to tell you, this is often a missing part from the efforts, from the planning process. And that's why I created again this for you, is because I don't want you to miss out on that opportunity. There are several different marketing strategies that you can use to extend the ability to generate more revenue and to generate more buzz. There are. Post-event, yes. Remember, I told you need to take pictures, do testimonials, have fun. So whoever is the photographer and the videographer during an event, they need to give you a little summary of what took place at that event. Like, do you ever watch the Grammys or the different awards programs, the Globe, this and that? Then the next day, if you're one of these people that like to watch highlights instead of sitting there for the whole time, then you go to the Entertainment Tonight or whatever shows, and they give you a little overview of what the whole award banquet was all about. They show you highlights of the event. Well, that's what post-event marketing is all about. I want you to take some of the highlights of the event, create this great email blast, and create different posts for social media and stories, and then you'll be able to actually come up with a whole story that you're telling about what took place at the event. But here's the best part. At the end of that, you can say, missed the event. Here's your opportunity to actually tap into what we did. Create all these marketing pieces and generate more excitement. So those are some of the post-marketing strategies that you can do to still generate some revenue from the people that actually missed the event. Now, you should only give them a 1-day offer. You should not extend that past 1 day so you can generate more. And I have one client that did exactly this strategy. They had generated $160,000 during the event. And then the next day, when they sent out that email and followed exactly step by step with what we teach, he was able to generate another over $40,000 in revenue from simply sending out this email blast and those social media posts, extending the offer for just 1 day for anybody that missed the event but still would like to take advantage of that offer. Isn't that amazing? It is. So here's what I would like you to do. The first thing you need to do is identify the new guests. Remember how everybody filled out this little registration form? Well, some of these people, you need to have your guest relations, for example, take all these cards and see which of these folks were already in your software system and which ones were not. Well, whoever's not in your database obviously is a new prospect for you, a new client. So you need to take all these new clients and put them in your platform, include them in your database, on your list, and you need to enter them in. And then you need to prepare another email really directed more to them because they're brand new. That way you're segmenting your database and you're able to, again, give them the overview of the highlight, maybe show some of the winners, the demonstration, who was purchasing, have some testimonials, and then invite them to come in and see you for a consultation. You need to show everybody how much fun it was, and then say, did you miss it, like I just mentioned, and then you make your offer. It's so easy, you guys. You just need to be able to actually do the work. And then once you do it, you can use it over and over and over. So this will help you generate a lot more sales and entice them to attend also your next event. Because if I'm sitting here looking at this saying, oh my gosh, this looks like it was so much fun, I missed it, so I'm gonna make a note to self that next time I see an invitation from the XYZ Med Spa or Spa, then I'm going to actually go to this event. So marketing and sales are key principles you need to master when hosting events. Your events can generate 6 figures for you when they are planned and hosted properly. They really are. So here's the plan. My team and I have perfected some of those great marketing tools and all the how-to, right, through the new program, and be able to actually plan and host the event. These 6 parts are a lot more in depth, of course, in the program than what I just gave you during this Dori Talks. So I want to invite you to check out this new program and see how you too can generate 6 events. So those of you who are members with us, you gain access to this program totally free. But if you are not a member, you can purchase it a la carte from InSPArationManagement.com, or you can become a member and then you can access everything that we offer for free. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Dori Talks. Please leave us some comments, share it, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you ring the notification bell so we can continue to bring you valuable information to help you elevate your success. I'm so excited you are with me. Stay healthy, and until next time, stay inspired.